You are live.
You're live. All right, good evening and welcome. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Bangor City Council. Today is Monday, January 22nd. It is 7:30 p.m. We begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask our Public Health Director, Patty Hamilton, to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the portion of the meeting set aside for public comment. Public comment, whether in person or through Zoom, requires a person to state their name and address. Inappropriate or offensive remarks are not permitted.
That was inappropriate.
Is it still streaming?
Yeah.
Okay. That was inappropriate and offensive. They may be interrupted or removed. The council chair has discretion over the time allowed for comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes for comment tonight. If you'd like to offer comment on any item that does not appear on the agenda, please approach the podium. On Zoom, the public may be recognized to speak by the hand raise function or on the phone by pressing *9. Is there anyone in the room who'd like to offer comment this evening?
Good evening, Council. My name is Michael Morton. I'm at 424-395-6236. Did I say that for an address in Bangor? 83 Elm Street, 04401. I'm holding here a manual I'm authoring. It's a resonance manual, and it's how to add magnetism to your daily systems. I recently applied for a PlayStation position with UK, and they denied the application. That's because they're anti-competitive. We still live in an industrialized civilization. We do not have to give everything, every dollar away to technology after technology after technology. I was talking to a guy with General Electric, a machinist, about this. This should be on factory floors. This should be in hospitals and at pharmacy tech shops. And in the schools, we have a great Department of Defense, but their job is not to defend our schools or our universities from bad people from all over the world. You can go through this whole book. There's over 1,500 references to common molecules in our environment, the entire periodic table of elements, which is nothing more than a subvisible index for our machinists, our applied materials makers, our carbon emissions experts, and our public health and private health officials. We've just listened to the state representatives and senators at a workshop this afternoon talking about funds for public health and medicine here in Bangor and infrastructure. But if Jackson Labs and places like Jackson Labs are overspending so much privately, the federal funding and the state and the local programs get wiped out. So is there anything the city council can do with regard to overspending at places like Jackson Labs or the University of Maine? I certainly hope so. I'm just gonna read something here. Oxidative phosphorylation, the transfer function between heat and light. In magnetism, this function studied by molecular biologists at human DNA scale now can also be observed as part of the Earth's wider bioorganical and reactive processes, protecting its inner atmospheres and surfaces from the non-temperatures further regions of outer space. In magnetism theory, the human DNA strand during prenatal development, from the perspective of 84 equidistant base pair biomarkers, may achieve uniqueness due to the position of light emission quantities of planets relative to the Earth. The tide systems on Earth are proportional with the tide systems on Saturn. We need better education, so I hope you know that scandium, the 21st element on the periodic table, it has a resonance of 5.6 billion. Our students should know when they're leaving high school, but the university students don't even know yet. And they should. It should be at universities. There should be commencement speech providers at the universities about the magnetism system being allowed in the ordinary study of biology, chemistry, engineering, aerospace, communications, psychology. Judge no one by the color of their skin, nor by the content of the characters in their screenplays and novels, especially if out of Hollywood. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Norton. Anyone else in the room? Do you have anyone online? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Minutes of Bangor City Council regular meeting of January 8th, 2023, should be 24, and Finance Committee meetings of January 8th, 2024, and January 17th, 2024. Liquor license renewals, application for liquor license renewal, malt wine spirits of Uno of Bangor, Inc., doing business as Uno Pizzeria and Grill, 725 Stillwater Avenue. Application for liquor license renewal, wine spirits of Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, doing business as Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, 108 Audlin Road. Application for liquor license renewal, malt wine spirits of Fandom Group LLC, doing business as Seasons on Main, 427 Main Street. Application for liquor license renewal, malt wine spirits of Hogan LLC, doing business as Miguel's Mexican Restaurant, 697 Hogan Road. 24-067 order authorizing the execution of municipal bill of sale located at 142 Holiday Park. 24-068 order authorizing city manager to execute Maine DOT Modification 1 to a locally administered project agreement for WIN number 021663.00 Broadway intersection safety improvements.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I move passage of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion or questions? Seeing no doubt, consent agenda has passage. Referrals to committee and first reading.
24-069 ordinance amending Chapter 165 Land Development Code, District Map to rezone the property located at 108 Audlin Road from Urban Residence 1 District, URD1, Neighborhood Service District, NSD, and Urban Service District, USD, to Urban Service District, USD. First reading and referral to Planning Board meeting of February 6, 2024.
I move this item be referred.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Seeing no doubt, the item is referred. Unfinished business.
24-033 ordinance amending Chapter 9, City Council, Section 8, standing committees by assigning the Airport Department to the Business and Economic Development Committee and making minor housekeeping revisions. Councilor Schaefer.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move passage of ordinance 24-033.
Second.
This ordinance amendment will assign responsibility for airport operational and capital items to the Business and Economic Development Committee, thereby eliminating the Airport Committee. While this does represent a change, prior to the establishment of the Airport Committee, all airport-related items were under the purview of the B&ED Committee. By reassigning this role to the B&ED Committee, one committee will be charged with oversight of development within the city. In addition, this amendment would make minor housekeeping revisions that are a result of newly adopted policy and/or the realignment of departments. This item was reviewed and recommended for passage at a City Council workshop on November 15th, 2023, and first read at the November 27th, 2023 meeting. Inadvertently, it did not get placed on the agenda for passage at the December 11th, 2023 meeting, and a recent records review caught the error.
Thank you, Councilor Schaefer. We have a motion, we have a second. Discussion? Seeing none, item 24-033 has passage.
Need a
Point of
roll
order.
call.
This is an ordinance.
Thank you. We need a roll call vote. Thank you, Councilor Fournier. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilor Fish?
Yes.
Councilor Haas?
Yes.
Councilor Yakovaga? Yes. Councilor Trumbull?
Yes.
Councilor Leonard?
Yes.
Councilor Fournier?
Yes.
Councilor Schaefer?
Yes.
Councilor Dean?
Yes.
Thank you. The item has passage. What would I do without it? Thank you very much. Next item.
24-063 ordinance amending Chapter 177, Article 2, Retail Marijuana, Section 177-7 by adding subsection 177-7K to clarify that retail marijuana establishments may not transact sales of cannabis at off-site specified events. Councilor Fish.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move for passage of ordinance 24-063.
Second.
This ordinance amendment would amend Chapter 177, Article 2, Retail Marijuana, to clarify that retail marijuana establishments may not transact sales of adult-use cannabis or cannabis products at off-site specified events that take place within the city of Bangor. The state legislature recently enacted LD 202, an act to clarify the requirement for adult-use cannabis stores to transact sales at specified events. This state law does not require municipalities to permit the sales of adult-use cannabis or cannabis products at off-site specified events, but sets up a procedure for adult-use cannabis stores to apply for a permit from the State Department of Administrative and Financial Services. The state permit would be a temporary authorization for a cannabis store to conduct sales of adult-use cannabis and cannabis products at specified events. These specified events would typically occur off the premise of an adult-use cannabis store. The requests for state permits may come from adult-use cannabis stores located within or outside the city of Bangor. An applicant for a state permit would need municipal authorization in order to obtain the state permit, and the state law allows municipalities to restrict the sale of adult-use cannabis and cannabis products at specified events, including prohibiting such sales. Without municipal approval, an applicant will not be able to obtain a state permit. This item was reviewed by the Government Operations Committee at its January 3rd, 2024 meeting, with the committee recommending the proposed ordinance revision, which clarifies that retail marijuana establishments may not transact sales of adult-use cannabis or cannabis products at off-site specified events that occur within the city of Bangor.
Thank you, Councillor Fish. We have a motion, we have a second. Discussion and comments. Ordinance requires a roll call vote. Councillor Fish.
Yes.
Councillor Haas.
Yes.
Councillor Yakabaga.
Yes.
Councillor Trimble.
Yes.
Councillor Leonard.
No.
Councillor Fournier.
Yes.
Councillor Schaefer.
Yes.
Councillor Dean.
Yes.
I'm a yes. 8 yes and 1 no. Ordinance 24-063 has passage. New business.
Public hearing, special amusement permit of Fandom Group LLC doing business as Seasons on Main, 427 Main Street. Council Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I would move to open the public hearing for the special amusement permit of Phantom Group LLC, doing business as Seasons on Main.
Second.
The motion, we have a second. Public hearing is open.
Seeing no one approach, I would move to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no comment, public hearing is closed.
I would move passage of the special amusement permit of Phantom Group LLC, doing business as Seasons on Main, 427 Main Street.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Questions or discussion? Permit is granted.
Public hearing, special amusement permit of Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, doing business as Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, 108 Odland Road. Council Hawes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I would move to open the public hearing for the special amusement permit of Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Public hearing is open.
Seeing no one approach, I would move to close the public hearing for the special amusement permit of Bangor Lodge of Elks.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Comments or discussion? Public hearing is closed.
I would move passage of the special amusement permit of Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, doing business as Bangor Lodge of Elks, number 244, 108 Odland Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there discussion? No? The permit is granted.
24-070, order authorizing a grant application to the Maine Emergency Medical Services Stabilization and Sustainability Program in the amount of $200,000 to fund EMS-related training classes and equipment. Councilor Dean.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move passage of Order 24-070. This order will authorize a grant application to the Emergency Medical Services EMS Stabilization and Sustainability Program in the amount of $200,000. This program was enacted into law by the 131st Legislature for the purpose of providing financial assistance to EMS in Maine. The Maine Legislature has appropriated $31 million for this program, which will be allocated in 2 separate time periods. The first funding period accounts for approximately 40% of the overall funding and is focused primarily on training and education. Based on the funding formula developed by Maine EMS, the Bangor Fire Department is eligible to receive a maximum of $200,000 in this round of funding with no local match required. The Fire Department will use this funding to purchase a new training equipment, an online EMS education platform for all EMS providers, as well as iPads for use for EMS training. Additionally, the funding would cover the total cost for 6 new hires, including wages and benefits for the EMT class that the department is sponsoring in February, as well as any other training opportunities. We will also use the funds to increase the department's operational capability by purchasing 1 additional Lucas mechanical CPR device. This grant funding will remarkably enhance the stabilization and sustainability of the department's EMS division for years to come. This item was reviewed and recommended by the Finance Committee at the January 17th, 2024 meeting.
Thank you, Councilor Dean. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Questions or discussion? Seeing none, Order 24-070 has passage.
24-071, order authorizing the award of $550,000 in state and local fiscal recovery funds to community care to renovate the Shaw House Youth Shelter. Councilor Leonard.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I make a motion on 24-071.
Second.
This order will authorize the award of $550,000 in state and local fiscal recovery funds, aka ARPA funds, to community care to support renovations of the Shaw House Youth Shelter as part of an application submitted to Penobscot County subrecipient grant process. Shaw House began engaging in 1991 with youth who are or are at risk of becoming homeless. Their mission is to provide safe shelter for youth experiencing homelessness, as well as diversion and transition from homelessness. The building that houses the Shaw House services, including a 16-bed emergency shelter, as well as a community care central office, was built in 1902 and requires significant repair to continue to serve as a haven for youth experiencing or at risk of homelessness. If approved, this award would provide a match to Penobscot County funding that, when combined with other funding services, would support interior and exterior renovations as well as the replacement of the HVAC system. This award is in support of the following: investment in facilities to support disproportionately impacted communities, investment in public health measures in a congregate setting.
Thank you, Councilor Leonard. We have a motion. We have a second. Councilor Trumbull.
Yes, I think this, I'm very much in support of this. I just wanted to recognize Council Leonard for his efforts. I mean, we went through a process and got applications, and unfortunately, the Shaw House didn't apply. They reached out, I think they applied to the county, but Council Leonard reached out to the county and to try to move this forward. So I think without his intervention, this might not have been funded, and this is very worthwhile funding, I think, if we can have an intervention with these youth. Obviously, if somebody's a homeless youth, they've got a lot of other issues, and if they can get some housing, it'll help them in that area as well. So I just want to commend Council Leonard for trying to move this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Other comments on this? I'll second Councilor Trumbull's comments and thanking Councilor Leonard for his efforts on this. Also, thank you to the Penobscot County Commissioners for partnering with us to make sure that the Shaw House gets the funding it needs to remain operational. Seeing no doubt, Order 24-071 has passage.
24-072, order amending Council Order 23-333's award of state and local fiscal recovery funds to Wellspring to reflect the Penobscot County funding allocation of $220,000. Councilor Yakabaga.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I move the passage of Order 24-072.
Second.
Thank you. This order would amend Council Order 23-333, adopted on October 23, 2023. That authorized the award of $441,540 in state and local fiscal recovery funds, aka ARPA funds, from the City of Bangor to Wellspring to fund additional exterior work at a new facility. As the City Council and Penobscot County Commissioners finalize their partnership opportunities, the County Commissioners have committed to providing $220,000 in ARPA funding for this proposed work. Therefore, this order would reduce the ARPA grant award from the city from $441,540 to $221,540 to reflect the ARPA funding award from Penobscot County.
Thank you, Councilor Yakabaga. We have a motion. We have a second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, Order 24-072 has passage.
24-073, order authorizing the award of $50,000 in state and local fiscal recovery funds to support the replacement of an emergency generator at Bangor Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Councilor Trimble.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Chair, I move for passage of Order 24-073.
Second.
This will authorize the award of $50,000 state and local fiscal recovery funds, ARPA funds, to Bangor Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in support of the replacement of an emergency generator. This application was submitted through Penobscot County's subrecipient grant process. Providing service to the community since 1827, formerly known as City Hospital, the city transferred Operation Controller's facility to a nonprofit corporation in 1999. BNRC is currently a 60-bed facility that provides both short-term and rehabilitative and long-term care. The city's Public Health and Community Services Department is also located in a portion of the building. Ensuring the safety of individuals in a congregate setting and investing in the city's public health infrastructure integral to ensuring our community is prepared to meet the needs of at-risk individuals in any public health emergency. If approved, this will provide a third of the funding to replace the emergency generator at BNRC. This project supports public health initiatives, and the city was pleased to be able to work collaboratively with Penobscot County Commissioners to invest in projects that will enhance our communities for years to come.
Thank you, Councilor Trumbull. We have a motion. We have a second. Comments or discussion on this item? Seeing none, item 24-073 has passage.
24-074, resolve ratifying the city manager's appointment of Jennifer Gunderman as Public Health and Community Service Director. Councilor Fournier.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This resolve will ratify the execution of an employment agreement with Jennifer Gunderman to serve as the City of Bangor's Public Health and Community Services Director. Ms. Gunderman received her bachelor's degree in Health Policy and Management with a minor in biology from Providence College, as well as a master's degree from Emory University in Public Health, and is currently pursuing a doctorate of public health. She has worked in a number of capacities within the public health arena, both as a provider of services and in agency leadership and project management. She has served as a public health specialist, nutritionist, epidemiologist, and health educator with experience in strategic planning. Most recently, she served as the director of the Maine Area Health Education Center. Ms. Gunderman's extensive and varied public health experiences will be a great fit to our public health department. The proposed employment contract will authorize a starting salary of $116,937. The term of this agreement is 3 years and shall be automatically extended on an annual basis unless either party provides notice 60 days prior to the expiration. Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for passage on Resolve 24-074.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Fournier. We have a motion. We have a second. I believe Jennifer Gunderman is in the audience tonight. Would you like an opportunity to say anything to the council?
I'm Jennifer Gunderman. I am just so pleased and excited to work with the city of Bangor and to get to know its community and how we can all work together to make optimal health available for everybody. So thank you for passing the resolve, and I'm looking forward to getting started. And also want to thank the legacy that Patty Hamilton leaves with us.
Thank you. Questions or discussion?
I have one. Is this Patty's last meeting? Or will you be here next month?
Perhaps, I'm not sure. Might be my last one, I'm not sure.
TBD.
She has one more.
Already then.
Noted, thank you. With no other discussion, item 24-074 has passage. Welcome. That brings us to the end of our agenda for tonight's meeting. Final comments, we'll start with Councilor Dean.
I will just say good night to everyone. Thank you again for coming out to join us, and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Councilor Schaefer?
Good, thank you. I wanted to check on Patty's status because I'll say goodbye at the next meeting, I guess. But welcome to Jennifer Gunderman, and you definitely have a legacy to fill, but it's going to be exciting to have another new leader in Bangor, and we hope you have an enjoyable stay here. Good night.
Councilor Fournier?
Welcome, Jen. I think that's a great fit, all the way around. So with that, good night.
Councilor Leonard?
Just want to say welcome to the team, Jen. Hope everyone had a good 3-day weekend with Martin Luther King holiday last week, and have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Thank you. Councilor Turnbull?
Welcome, Jen. Look forward to working with you, and good night.
Councilor Yakabaga?
Welcome, Jen, to the team. Excited to have you, and at the same time sad to see Patty leaving. Have a good night.
Councilor Paz?
Welcome, Jen. What?
Councilor Fish?
Welcome, Jen. I had the opportunity to visit Patty and many of the great people over to the Public Health and Community Center last week, and everyone was very excited. I know there's some close-knit relationships there, and it sounds like it's going to be a good transition, and welcome aboard.
Before I close us out, comments from staff tonight? Just waves from the audience. So the one thing I will add is tomorrow night is what's known as the PIT count. It's the point in time count where outreach workers go out into homeless encampments and various places across the city to try to get an accurate count of how many people are experiencing homelessness. I have signed up to volunteer for that because I'm interested in seeing what the process looks like. So wish us luck as we're out there tomorrow night. The goal is to know how many people we have experiencing homelessness, what kind of services they may need, so that we can accurately adjust to those and provide people with the services that they need to connect them to stable and supportive housing. Beyond that, looking very forward to the Chamber Awards dinner on Friday night. Fingers crossed that the weather is with us.